Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Ni's Experience here, and today I am talking to Stacy Swift, an American nurse who moved all the way from Chicago to Ghana to find a husband. With all that said, let's jump right into the video.
So, my name is Stacy. I was born and raised in Belize. I have two older brothers, one younger sister. I moved to Chicago where my family resigned, and I just love to travel. I love meet people. I love learn language and cultures. Belize is Central America, so it's between Mexico and Guatemala. So it's a right tiny island between both of those Latin country, and we're the only English speaking, Spanish speaking, and we speak Garifuna in Central America.
How was your experience growing up in Belize?
Oh, perfect. I miss it. The sun was nice. The weather was nice. It was a good childhood for me so far that I remember, because I raised with my stepmom and stepdad. So my stepdad was like a sergeant, so he was in the police. And I had a good experience whereas up in Belize. Like the weather is nice, beautiful beaches, islands.
Oh, it's an island.
Well, technically I won't say it's an island, because an island, you cannot drive to an island, and you can drive to Belize from anywhere that accessibility to drive from. Like you can drive from Chicago to Belize.
When did you move to America?
In 2012 or 11, either one of those two.
2012 or 2011?
Yeah.
Like, when exactly did you move to America?
Like I don't wait, in 2011. Yeah, in 2011. I had to work with a company, and then they transferred me to go work in Branson, Missouri. In 2011, while I moved from Belize to the US, I transferred for work, and then I leave that job, and then I moved with my family to Chicago. So all the while I was in the US, I was working, yeah. At first, it was rough. It was hard to adapt to the American lifestyle. It was really different. And then eventually, if you can't beat them, you join them. So then I joined the American lifestyle of just being a slave. I'm joking. The American lifestyle of just like working, barely any holidays, no holidays, just working 12-hour shift, working 7 days a week, working 3 12s. Some people might know what I do from the shift I'm saying, but yeah, whatever. Yeah, just then eventually I just stopped work so much, because I'm working just to pay the bills, just to do nothing, like just to not have a lifestyle, not have like friends, just be depressed, just work, come home, it's cold, miserable, boring. So yeah, and then one day I just be like, okay, I'm tired of this. So I start work less, and then I start explore, and then I start travel, and then I start just, and ever since then, I just never went back to working hard. I work smart. I used to work 7 days a week, 12 hours, be like just making money. So then I start to think about my mental health, my own priorities, and then I start to do all different things. I start to do side hustle, like that I make more than my job. So then I let my job, I would work 3 days a week, and I stop do 12, I do 8 hours, and then yeah, and then I start travel more, and then give myself more time to travel, because working give you time to less travel, because you will have to just travel on holidays or Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then you got to come back. So then I start to work smart.
What inspired you to start traveling?
You know, living in America, you get exposed to a lot of different culture, because where I'm from, okay, so living in America definitely inspired to learn about other different culture and people. But in America, I feel like it teaches you a lot about segregation. So that inspired me to like travel, because America love of segregation. Like where I'm from in Belize, I didn't even think about segregation. Like if you do something, oh, it's because this person is black, or it's because this person is white. So at home, I didn't learn about that in Belize. We didn't think about, oh, because this person is like lighter skin, or because we didn't have that type of thing growing up. So in America, I learned that. So it's a little bit different, but so yeah, so that inspired my travel bug. And I was like, oh, I want to go to Africa. Oh, I want to go to Central America. London is like my favorite city. It's like a melting pot in London. When I say melting pot, it's like it filled with all different culture, like so much different culture.
So how many countries have you visited so far?
Ay, Charlie. maybe like 25, maybe.
Can you name some of them?
I've been to Mexico, Guatemala, El Salvador, Togo, Ghana. I've been to a couple U.S. country like Washington, Texas, California, Missouri. I've been to a couple that I just, that's some that I remember off my head.
Okay, so talking of Ghana, is this your first time visiting Ghana?
No, it's not my first time visiting Ghana. This is my third time visiting Ghana.
Your third time visiting Ghana?
I just said that just to mess with you, but my second time visiting Ghana.
Okay. Okay, so what brought you here the first time? Like, weren't you scared to move to Africa or anything like that?
So, Ghana, London have a special place in my heart. Like, I love London, and Ghana have a special place in my heart. Like, I love Ghana. But Ghana wasn't my first African country that I wanted to visit at all. It wasn't even on my radar. I didn't know. I sung really shallow things. I didn't know nothing about Ghana at all. So I know about, it's weird, even Burkina Faso was like my dream African country to come to, like where I wanted to go, which I thought it was going to be my first
Now, why
African
Burkina
country.
Faso though?
Because I used to watch these other white backpacker YouTuber. They was traveling to a very unknown country, and Burkina Faso stand out to me because like the culture, the people, and just the adventure they had bring to it to show it. I was like, I want to go to Burkina Faso.
But do you speak French? Do you think you can cope with them there? Do you think you can
No, I don't
communicate?
speak French, but they didn't speak French either. Is this channel like called Peter? Yeah, so he's really good at storytelling. He didn't speak French either, but sign language. The people try to understand. They had like the biggest frog, I think, in Burkina Faso, and crocodiles, and it was very interesting culture. So I would still love to visit.
So why
Burkina
the
Faso.
switch?
So Ghana just randomly happened, like randomly. So my friend was like, she was like, oh, I got a ticket to go to Ghana. And I was like, okay. So I went to do some research, like, okay. Because whenever I go somewhere, I make sure I check the laws out, the rules, what I could take, what I cannot take. Because in the Western world, what we tend to be legal is not legal in another country, and I didn't want to find myself going to jail. So I did that, and then I bought a ticket. It was quite pricey. It was like $3,000 at that time because it was like in December time in Ghana. And then unfortunately, I couldn't make that date that I came because I had to work. They didn't want to give me that time off even though I had bought a ticket. So I had to work, and then went after that. And then, yeah, Ghana, and the rest is history. I stayed in Ghana 2.5 weeks, almost 3. And my experience was really good, but Ghanaians don't adapt.
What do you mean Ghanaians don't adapt?
Okay, so like my first experience was very trial and error. Like it was very trial and error because when I first came to Ghana, I was just frustrated all over. Like the customer service in Ghana is very terrible. I'm sorry, no disrespect to the Ghanaians watching this, but I was just so frustrated everywhere. Like my first horrible experience, I argued with a with an Uber driver. We sitting there arguing because in America, like you get an Uber driver, you don't exchange cash, you don't exchange money, you just pay with your card. So while I was here, I was paying with my card, and this guy, for some reason, something told me log into my bank account, and I see the ride charges, but he told me I still had to give him cash. So I was double paying, and I was showing him like, it's right there, and da 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 da. He stopped, he put me out, we arguing in the middle of the street. Like just a Westerner get out of me, like I just going tick for tack with him. And I was like, you know what, I'm not at home, so I can't call the police right away, because I remember somebody say here you can't call the police because you got to give them gas, or they would say they don't have no gas to come. So
That's not true. That's not true.
That's what somebody told me. So I was like, you know what? Let me just. I still didn't pay him. I just left. because okay, then this one kind gentleman, he came and he asked me what was the problem, and I showed him. So then he fixed my Uber settings and he put it to cash only. So I didn't even know that they have something that you could put your Uber settings to cash only, because in America we didn't. I just get the Ubers like I normally do, and I didn't have both at all. And for some reason my phone didn't want to download nothing. Every time I come to Ghana, my phone stopped work for some odd reason.
How long did you stay in Ghana?
3 weeks, sir.
3 weeks?
Yeah.
And then how was the experience, like the general experience,
So-
aside customer service, housing, apartment, hunting?
Okay,
all these?
so I didn't have a problem like looking for apartments or anything like that, because I didn't pay for housing like when I came. I pay along the way. So I'm the person that I don't stay one place is too long, especially as a solo female traveler, because I feel like always people is watching you. So I don't really stay one place for too long. So my first coming to Ghana was really good. I've been to Tamale, I went up to Bolotanga, I went to Takrady, I went to Volta, Ada. So I went all over Ghana. So I didn't stay in one housing for long. I was just traveling and paying my hotel along the way, along where I was traveling.
As a solo traveler, did you get any help from any Ghanaians, what you call fixer, whenever you travel or anything?
So no, I didn't have I don't know if you would, no, I didn't have a fixer, but I did have a guy that I met online which was a tour guide that helps me.
Oh, okay. And how was the tour guide experience?
It was actually really good. I can't complain. I had a good time. Ghanaians are really nice and friendly. They're really helpful, but they're not like open-minded. Like, for example, I would ask them to, oh, can you do me a favor? And they were like, okay. Even if they cannot do the favor, know to do it, they will still try to do it, instead of said, no, I don't know to do it, or I can't do it, or I will do you this favor, but I will charge you. Then later they will text you something like, oh, can you give me something small?
Oh, yeah,
it's just hilarious.
What you are saying is they don't charge you right up front, but then
later they will text you, like they don't want to tell you they want to charge you for something. Later they will text you like, can you give me something small for that favor, instead of tell you up front like, hey, I'm gonna charge you something small. Like in the Western world, if I go and ask my friend for a favor, it's a favor you don't pay for.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. What are some of these favors that at the end of the day you had to pay for?
No, I'm just talking in general.
Oh, okay. So do you think it was a good decision to move to Ghana?
It's a okay. If it's a good decision to move to Ghana, I really like Ghana and I really want to move to Ghana permanently.
Permanently?
Well, maybe not permanently, but I want to live between the Western world and Ghana. So between two. Like I would love to own a home in Ghana and still live in the US. I don't want to own a home in the US.
Why?
I mean, it's quite pricey and I will die still paying for this home. While if I live in Ghana, I would just buy the home and it belongs to me. So, and the peace I get when I come to Ghana, I love the peace. I love the excitement. I will never get used to walking through the market, watching the people hustling. I will never get used to the people put the pan or whatever you call it on their head and just like go sell their water.
That is not fun at all. That is hustling. That is
yes,
stress.
that's what I'm saying. I'm never gonna get used to. Here is you, like if Ghana had like a program or something, stability for helping their people. They have the great mindset of starting a business, being an entrepreneur, other than the Western world. Like you guys learn from early, you got to go out there and hustle. You got to go out there and sell. In our world, you got to go to school. You got to learn. You got to either be a doctor, a lawyer, a nurse. Like you got to be an engineer. You got to be something of that sort. And here, early you learn, you gotta hustle, you gotta make money. You guys go out there with your mom and sell. Like, you guys know business ideas ever since at a young age. So like, if the government or somebody had something, stability, to show you guys the way of being an entrepreneur, Ghana would be a great country. So yeah, I hope to bring like jobs here and hire Ghanaians and
What kind of jobs are we talking about?
Like, I into skincare, so maybe do something with skincare, but then I really love photos, videos, so it could be something in that sector, or it could be I don't know.
Have you thought of a business name or a brand name for?
Okay, so I before I came to Ghana, I had make a list of things I wanted to do. So like a skincare brand, it would have been Stacy Lux.
Stacy Lux.
Yes, like
Oh.
Lux.
Oh.
So I already had like bottle ideas. I already had designed, and I already have like a whole bunch of things that I wanted for it. And I even bought the name from Google, like so that nobody bought the domain. So I even had that. And in Ghana, you have to have patience. You have to take time. And I feel like you can't beat the people, so you got to join them. The people move a little bit slower than normal that I used to. So I just got to go with their flow of things.
What do you mean when you say they move slower than you?
Okay, so for example, you tell me you're coming, but your coming could be really later, could be this evening, it could be tomorrow. In Western, when we're coming, it means pronto, now. That's what I mean in Western, we're coming. Okay, it means I'm coming to you now. So you're coming, and then you guys are always late. So like, somebody said they're coming at 5:30 to pick us up. They will come at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Like the time, you guys don't have time management skill at all.
I feel it's usually because of traffic issues and that, because you may ask me to come and meet you at 7. Then I will think of getting up at 6, getting ready, preparing everything, and leaving my apartment at 6:30, hoping that in the next 10 to 15 minutes I will get to where you are. And then
but that's not how you do it. You live in Ghana. You're born and raised in Ghana, correct?
Maybe I've not been where you are before.
No, but you know how traffic is. And if you know you've never been where somebody are, like going on a job interview, say you want this amazing job, and you're going to give yourself only 30 minutes. You never been to the site before. You never met the people before. You're only going to give yourself 30 minutes? No. You're supposed to give yourself an hour before you go. Say, okay, I'm meeting this person. I'm going to set myself an hour in advance to get there, because you know traffic in your country is rootless. You got to take the trotro if you don't have a car. So you have to put all these in perspective going somewhere, but you guys don't do that.
Ever since you've been here, what are some of the things that you've realized that we have in common, Ghanaians and Black Americans?
So same skin color.
Okay.
We all African from somewhere, right? It doesn't matter, African American, Ghanaian, we all African. So what we have in common in culture wise, wow, that's very difficult. I won't say we have much in common, because you guys eat a lot of meat. Everything for you guys is a lot of meat. I'm talking from my perspective. I feel like we don't have much in common. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. I'm not talking about me and you now.
Okay.
I'm talking about we're doing an interview. I'm not talking about me and you now. I'm talking about in general, like as an African American and Ghanaian. Like now the Western world is starting to be hip and listen to Afro beats and blah blah blah, and get immune to like the African culture, because back in the days it wasn't a thing, but now it's a thing. Everybody want to be listen to Afro beats. Everybody want to be hip with the African culture, because you know it is hip. It's a hip now. But I would say I don't really know, because we don't eat the food you guys eat at home. We don't eat it. You guys eat a lot of meat. The healthcare is really different here. At home we don't have people selling stuff on the street. You cannot buy what you can buy in Ghana on the street. Like you could buy anything in Ghana on the streets. So it's really a little bit different. Like every time I step outside and leave my apartment, it's always like amaze me. It will never get old.
I'm sure America is dominated by white people, right?
I mean, yeah.
Where you live? Okay,
yes.
Let's talk about where you live.
Yes, it's dominated by white people.
White people. So you go out and you see a lot of white people and like Asian, like with all these different cultures. How is it here in Ghana? You go out, you don't see much white people. You see everyone with the same skin color as you
And
have.
you know what? And that's what I
And-
said. America is quite segregated. I didn't coming to Ghana. I didn't realize that's it. Like it reminds me of being at home, because at home, my dad's side of the family is like live like right like an hour away, 45 minutes away from Mexico. So my dad's side of the family speaks Spanish. My mom speaks Spanish too, but my mom's side of the family speak Garifuna. So, my dad's side is more like Mexicans. Well, they're still Belizeans, but they're more they have that fair Mexican complexion or Mayan complexion, if you know what a Mayan is. And I don't realize it until I'm in America. It's a lot about black and white, or if you do something it's because you're black, or if a black person did something and they go to an extreme, it's because you're black, or if a white person says something how they generally, because you're white. Like in Ghana, I don't feel that at all. It doesn't even cross my mind like, this person is black, or this person, like, I doesn't feel that. I don't think about that. Like, I'm just thinking about it now because you said it. It didn't even cross my mind.
How do Black Americans feel about Africans? Like a friend of mine told me that he was somewhere in the US, and then he met a Black American who complained a lot about his work and that and that and that. And he was like, bro, you have all these resources, like Africa is home. Why don't you just move back to Africa and start something there and then leave this place? And the response he got, my friend told me he got was, the guy said, but I'm not an African and Africa belongs to Africans.
Oh, wow. That was very vaguely thing to
Yeah,
say.
so like it gave me an impression about Black Americans. How do they see Africans like?
Well, I cannot speak for everyone, but I can speak for myself. So I probably was shallow too at one spell. I'm not even gonna lie. So at one spell I probably was shallow, but because I and those are people that don't really travel. Those are the African Americans that doesn't really travel, are very shallow, are very the one that got like really bad things to say about other country, but they never left the US. So they never leave Chicago. Like they would never leave their country at all. So those are the ones that is very shallow. But because I probably was shallow too at one spell, but because I start to travel and learn different culture and learn different language and food and I have an open mindset to things now.
Will you ever consider yourself an African?
We all an African. We all was somewhere from African, then we just get on the boat and our parents and our grandparents, scattered us everywhere. So we all Africans. I am an African, but I am a Belizean.
It's like you like saying.
Yes, I know. I love repping my country. I'm sorry. I am Belizean before I'm anything, and then I'm an African before I'm an African American, and then I am an African American. Yes.
Do you see yourself settling with a spouse
in Ghana?
Africa? No, like let's say Africa.
Oh, yeah. Africa is a big continent, so.
Or will you even limit yourself to Ghana, like settle with a Ghanaian man, because we are the most faithful in the world?
Charlie, why you lying?
Ghanaian men have been rated the most faithful in the whole.
I saw that
Africa.
on Instagram. Please, yeah. I don't even swallow it, but okay. If I would date a guy,
I love it.
So like if I would date a Ghanaian, yes, I would date a Ghanaian, but I won't date a Ghanaian that wants to move to the US because I want to not live in the US. So, or you have some Ghanaian that you want to date, but they just want to date because they want to go to the US. So I won't date that type of, and I won't date an older Ghanaian man that has a older mindset, because
Why?
Because they stuck in their ways and they're not open for change. They're not open for growth, and we're in 2020. So I wouldn't date an older Ghanaian man that's stuck in their ways or have that old mentality.
When you say open to change, how open are you talking about? Because open is a huge word.
Okay, so in the Western world, you got to take girls on dates. Well, what I used to, you got to take girls on dates. You got to be mindful. My major thing is I'm not your maid. That's my thing. You don't think I will go out and work and then come home, cook, clean, take care of the kids, do all that while you just be like, okay, I'm your slave. You're just coming home to eat. You're not gonna help do chores. Like, no, older Ghanaian man wouldn't be open to those things. So I'm open to I'm even open to share bills with my husband, but I'm really not open to be your maid full time. Like, you gotta come and meet me in the middle. You gotta help clean. You gotta take out the trash. Like, those are things I will not settle for.
What if your companion is the kind of man that has a lot of work to do? Work keeps him away from the house. Would you still expect him to be doing all those things?
Then he won't be my companion. I don't go into a relationship with somebody or dating with somebody that I don't see a headway with, or something that I don't like about them that I would want them to change. Like, I don't do that. Like, I just don't go in a relationship with somebody I know that I can't see long term with, or something that, like, okay, he works a lot, or he do this, or he want me. Like, I won't do that, because eventually he would come back to me and be like, oh, but this is how I am. So I don't do that.
Will you say you are living comfortably in Ghana at this moment?
Yeah, I got a nice apartment. I'm living comfortable. I hate the landlord, but I'm living comfortable. I like the house. It's very quiet. It's peaceful. Other than the landlord, like, I'm comfortable. I don't have much is like at home. I could lay my tub every day after a hard day of work, relax, soak myself with some sea salts and relax and wind down and have a glass of wine, which I could still do here, but I just cannot wind down because our shower is like standing shower. So, and one thing I learned here, I'm very mindful of taking a shower, because I could be fully soaked and the water could be gone. So I'm very mindful of things here, but I am very comfortable and at peace.
You mentioned something about the landlord. What has the landlord done to you?
Charlie. Every time I bring out Charlie, it's a story. So the landlord here, he says he's from UK, whatever, but his customer service, his integrity, it is very bad. So like, when we first came to move here, he charges a price, which we had saved it for 6 months. When we got here, because the CD dropped, he was like, oh, you got to give me 52,000 more CDs on top of what?
Because the CD dropped.
Yeah, he wanted 52,000 more CDs on top of what we originally settled for renting the apartment. So it's a 2-bedroom, 3-bathroom. He wanted more on top of what it is. And then he just out the lights. He just take off the internet. Breakfast was supposed to come with it. We never got breakfast. It's like a lot of tedious things. Like the breakfast thing I didn't worry about, but out in the light when it's really hot, that's what I care about. Internet come with her place. He take off the internet, like having visitors, having guys over, he would show himself. He would come there like, don't come in here, no visitors. I was like, sir, but we pay for the place to stay here. Like, how would you say no visitors? How would you say we cannot do this or cannot do that? Like he just give a lot of rules that I think was unfair, especially us as young women. It was like, the things he do is just so unfair and it's not ethical at all for him to do. Like, it's just mind-boggling, but you can't beat them, you join them. So I'm just still living here, waiting for my 3 months up, and I will not live here again. I will find another place. And the amount of money that we pay here, talking to other local Ghanaian, and even you yourself, we said we could find somewhere to live for like 3 years or years paying to live here.
Yeah, that is so true. That is so true. So I'm guessing you would not even recommend this place to
No, I would
anyone.
Not recommend this
Even
place
though
to anyone.
It's quite peaceful and nice.
It's quite peaceful. It's quite nice, but he's very, very, I don't know. He want to put 100 CDs in the light, and then it's going to be off by next week. Like, he want to, well, I don't have no problem with the water yet. But it's always the light. He never wants to pay. He was like, oh, you're going to pay it because you use it. Oh, no gas. Or if I'm leaving, he turn off. Like, it's just weird. Like, things, and it's very hard for me. And like I said, you have to have patience, because things like that makes me want to buy a plane ticket and go back home, because I have a comfortable home. I have everything in my home. Like, I don't have to battle with nobody. Like I need light or water or I need AC on or I have to limit having the AC. I don't have that issue. So he gave me a hard time wanting to stay my whole time. But like I said, I'm just trying to overcome that and stay and enjoy my time and be here for the reason I am here for. So
Talking of reason you are here, what is the reason you are here?
So the reason I'm here is to create content and show, the African journey and beyond. I want to travel to every single country in the world. So I'm here.
That's a lot of work.
Yes, it is, but I can do it. I want to be the only Belizean woman to travel to every single country in the world. So pray for me. Make sure you go subscribe to my channel and donate to me so we can get it done. Okay.
Yeah. Please donate to I am Stacy Swift on YouTube.
So yeah.
And then we share the money.
So yeah, I create YouTube, which is I am Stacy Swift on all social media platforms, TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. I just create African content, showing people Africa is more than what they make it seems to be, than other than mud houses and kids looking hungry on the television begging for food and have big stomach or have like tumor on their face. Is actually way more than that than you actually see in television.
I see a lot of Black Americans moving to Ghana, like moving to the country. What is happening in America? Why is everyone like trying to move to Ghana currently? What is going on? Because a lot of Ghanaians want to relocate, not necessarily to America, but
the Western world.
Yeah, they want to leave the country because they feel everything is hard. And
I feel like everything is hard everywhere, but people always see the grass green on the other side, but it's not that easy in America. If you don't go to America with like a citizenship or like a work visa or something, it's not easy. It's really not easy, but people think about, oh, I'm gonna make US dollars, but if you don't have a degree and convert that degree into a US degree or UK degree or whatever, you're technically FUCK. Because how would you make money? A home alone in America to rent is about, I'll talk about myself, is $1,550 to just rent an apartment. And if you go there with no money, and if you don't even have money at your own home, how are you gonna go there to pay those type of rent? How are you gonna live? How are you gonna settle? People in the Western world will let you live with them for, even family, I don't care, a certain amount of time, and they're gonna get tired of you because they're gonna be like, oh, you're just here making no money, help towards no bill, because the bills are there expensive. Everybody get depressed, everybody get angry, everybody wants you to put money towards something. I don't care what nobody say. And so people always think the grass is greener on the other side, but it's definitely not. When I was at home in Belize, I didn't know what depression was. I was never depressed until I leave to America. I was depressed, don't want to get out of the house. The food was a different kind of situation that I have to get used to. I have to get surgery. Like eating the fast food, it's very, like, I just got like from like 130 pounds to like 250 pounds. Like it's very bad. People always think the grass is greener on the other side, but it's a struggle. But some people successfully like find women, get married, and successfully get out the struggle. But it's not an easy road.
So do you personally feel some of these reasons, this work, like wake up work mentality, is part of the reasons why most Black Americans are moving to Ghana to relax? And
I do. Yeah, like and two, a lot of the police brutality that was happening, everybody was moving. When Trump was becoming president, everybody wants to move. So those are things that start the moving back to Africa. First, Ghana wasn't a thing. Nigeria was a thing where everybody talk about Nigerian music, Nigerian food, so everything was Nigeria. But I noticed nobody wants to move to Nigeria. The funny story, a lot of the YouTubers that I was watching to learn like how I navigate Ghana, not to say they influenced me to move here, because I've been wanting to move, so that's why I find their channel to learn different things about moving to Ghana. It's funny, they all moved back to their country. I think one of the girls went back to Japan, What other one went back to is it Amsterdam? Or one Scotland. They all gone back to their home country because they say Ghana got really expensive. Things got really hard and the price raised, even though that the cities depreciated and the US become, it's still expensive. It's still hard. I understand that. Like, all of the girls went back that I used to watch, which is so funny. I was like, damn. And now I am coming and they all leave.
I know one, Vanessa Camby.
Yeah, she was one of them too.
Yeah,
she went back.
She went back. But Accra is not cheap. Like, Ghana is okay, but then Accra is not cheap because everyone wants to move to Accra. And then I feel one of the things these people are doing, I don't want to mention names, government, whatever. What they are trying to do is they are trying to push the
all
natives,
the local Ghanaians
they are
away.
trying to push the citizens away from Accra. So you can stay somewhere else, but you can come and work in Accra, but then you can't afford Accra because Accra is getting really, really, really expensive. You can't even buy a land with cities these days.
Okay, so for my thing that I hate about traveling through Africa in general is that every time they charge me in US, but you don't use US. You're not even gonna give me my change back in US because you don't have it. But you wanna charge everything in US. Then you're gonna give me back my change in Ghana cedis. I still lose out, no. But then I give you my money in US, you gain. So I don't understand why everything they're charging in US when they don't even pay their citizen in US.
I don't understand that.
Like, I really don't get the point of charging everything in US when you don't even give your citizen money in US. Like, you don't even have it to give back. So why you're charging US dollars? Why you're not, charging in your CD, value your money? It's kind of weird. Even if you want to upcharge, why you're not charging in your money? Even upcharge it to what you would charge in US. Why you still not charging it in, like, your CDs or your CFA or whatever it is? Every tour guide I had to reach out to going to, like, Ivory Coast, Benin, they keep say, oh, this US dollars, that US dollars, 98 US. I was like, where's your culture? Like, you guys losing your culture, want to fit into the Western world, and then the Western world want to come here and fit into your culture. It's just weird, but it is what it is. And I don't understand why they don't pay people more money if they want to charge in, like, the US. Like, okay, give your citizen more money then, and they push you out of Accra. I am American. I make a quite amount of figures where I work at, and I still won't pay what they're charging to live in Accra. Like, I still live in Ghana or Accra, whatever you want to call it. But when I was home, right, searching for apartment, the amount of money they was telling me, I was like, $3,000 for a 2-bedroom, US dollars, $1,500, $2,000. I was like, am I gonna get the Western standard value for my money? Or would I get the Ghana standard value for my money? Like, what is the value I'm getting for my money? Like, which is it? Because I didn't want to pay what I'm paying at home here in Ghana. So it was just mind-boggling to me. So I was asking them, so what does the local pay? Don't give me the Ghanaian price. Give me the local price. Because if Ghanaians are only making 100 US dollars or 3,000 CDs, 4,000 CDs, well, I'm talking about the higher people that get higher paid. They still can't even afford what they're trying to charge me, because that would be like 27,000 CDs a month. And you guys don't even make that. Some of you guys don't even make that for the year as a yearly commission or salary or whatever. So where do those people live? Like, what housing do they have? Like,
probably the kind of house you want to live in is not the kind of house someone who makes like 500 cedis a month will live in. So they feel I think what is happening is they try to extort people who have money. Like, when they see that you can afford to live here, then it means you have the means to pay for more. Because I won't go right now, as I am like a student still in school and all these, will not even attempt to live in places like Trazaco where rent is expensive. So the fact that you are coming in to get a place like that, gives them the impression that you can afford it actually.
Oh, okay.
And then the fact that you are also a foreigner gives them the impression that, oh, our city is even less valued compared to your currency, and so we can charge more in order to also benefit.
Yeah, but I feel like, okay, no, I don't have a problem with paying more, but am I getting the value for my money? I'm not getting the value for my money. Like staying at the Marriott cost me $362 a night, US dollars. The food was great, but the room, it didn't worth the price. I'm having red carpet on the floor. Like, where's the value for my money? That's the only thing I don't like about the value for your money. Like, nothing wrong if you're gonna charge, but at least you have to give the value for your money. And then I feel like, okay, you're gonna give me that price, but it's just, I don't know. I feel like the pricing for the housing they try to give foreigners just doesn't worth it to me. I don't care. Okay, so imagine all the foreigners move back, right? Except the ones that work with embassies and politics and blah, blah, blah that they bring here to work. Of course, they would be the one who live in like airport area, or most of them live in like airport area, airport hills. I think that's what you call it. So I know most of them live in that area because all the embassies and all that is over there, right? So imagine foreigners just move back, the real estate just drop. Who would they rent their property to? Who would be their target audience other than their regular Ghanaian people? Like, I don't get it. Like, I would never get it at all. So I don't know.
What is an advice you would give to your fellow Belizeans or Black Americans who are trying to move?
My advice is to don't do what I do. Learn from my mistake. Don't pay full time. Rent an Airbnb, and then you come and you look. Try to get a local to go with you, and you look. You make sure you check under the sink. Make sure you check the water. Make sure you have in contract everything in writing. Don't care how small it is. Don't care they say, oh, I will pay the light all the time, or have it in writing. Have it on a piece of paper, because it's very, 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 very important. Don't care how small you think it is. It's a very, 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 very important. Have a local with you to go with you to see the places. Just pay for a place for a small amount of time. Say pay for a place for like 2 weeks Airbnb, or a hotel for like a week or something like that, 3-4 days, and then you go out and look for a place while you're here. Because when you look for it while you're away, they tend to, once they see my number was like an American number in the WhatsApp, they tend to just bunks the price like extremely crazy. I was like, what? Are you crazy? Like, well, what am I paying that for? So yeah, just wait till I feel like that. And then the second thing is get everything in writing, have patience. And I learned in Ghana, like the partying, the clubbing, the drinking, the fun, if you come here for a purpose, it could definitely lead you astray if you are not focused. And you will go broke ASAP if you keep doing this.
How much do you normally budget for a day expenditure?
So on my trips, when I go out, I budget like $25 a day, excluding my housing. But then if I'm doing activities, it's like $40 a day. So that's like 500 Ghana cedis, like a day. But then when I spoke to somebody, they said to me like, oh, that's somebody's salary for the month. That's too much. Go down to at least 200 cedis a day. And that makes sense. That really makes sense. And then when I spoke to my soon-to-be husband, boyfriend, I'm joking. He told me we could live off 1,000 cedis a day. So we're working on that.
Oh,
and if you want to be nosy, go subscribe to my channel and you're going to know who it is.
Okay. All right, so you are currently using 200 cedis to 300 cedis, but excluding your housing and clubbing and transportation.
I don't really go to club, but yeah.
Oh, okay. So transportation is included or excluded?
So it depends on the day and where we go. Like if I venture off, then transportation won't be included. But like the regular days, if I take trolls and all that, it could be included. If I just say go out to Usu or go out somewhere to shoot a video or something, everything would be included. Upset. And this is one other thing I learned, guys. Take this very serious. If you don't take any advice from this, definitely take this advice, like patience. And if you come for Ghana for something, be on it, because you could easily get astray by the partying, the drinking, all the fun. And don't come to Ghana on December and think like, oh, dirty December, all the excitement, and you're moving here for that because it's enjoyment. No, because you're gonna, it's very, no. Because the guys here save all their money for dirty December to get American women, to get Westerner women. They save all their money, they save all
How
their
did you know
time.
that?
Because I learned it when I came here last year.
Okay.
So that's, and another thing is, before you buy, before you eat, before you get into a place, ask the price. Because it happens to me. I just be going and I went to a local restaurant, order some food, and I did not ask the price. And the food was not great. And it was 286 CDs. It was like 286 CDs. I was so pissed. For what? For banku and tilapia. I was so mad. I was like, you got me this time, but don't go anywhere, order anything, buy anything without ask the price first. And stay focused, be patient. Ghana is lack of critical thinking and customer service. So you just have to join them. Like, you just have to join them and be patient. I feel like if you're a vegan or vegetarian, it'll be very difficult for you in Ghana, because you guys, that's where I was coming with the meat part again. You guys do a lot of meat. So for all the vegans and vegetarians, you got to be very mindful when you come to Ghana, because you're going to eat chiton rice every day, all day. But yeah, that's all I wanted to express.
That's when you are picky.
No, but if you're vegetarian and vegan, they don't want to eat meat.
Yeah.
But in the Western world, they tell us not to eat the cabbage, the apples, no vegetable because of pesticides, and it doesn't wash good. Maybe worms and things still stay on it.
You wash your thing when you buy them, so.
No, but when you go out to buy the food, when you buy it out there, yes, you can wash it, you can peel it and use the inside. But when you go out to buy the food, you don't know if they wash it good, if pesticides are still on the salads, on the apple. You know, when you're cooking a bowl, you're not going to get everything off. You're going to get some nice and nasty. And for some reason in Accra, I never find good food. And it's always the place I get the most expensive food, but I never find good food. Like, but if I go to Cape Coast, if I go to other region of Ghana, the food is always making so much love. But yeah, Kumasi got really good red. And for the older Ghanaian aunties that meet you, they always got a son for you to marry.
Have you received a proposal yet?
Oh, this one lady, she was on the plane with me. She lived in Kumasi. She wanted me to meet her son. Yeah, the older Ghanaian ladies always got a son for you to marry.
Are you planning to get married soon?
I want to get married by next year. I don't know why, but I have a feeling I will get married by next year. I don't know to who, to what, because I'm still single, but I'm planning to get married next year.
Okay.
And the other thing is, you gotta be very careful too, because some people will marry to you for the wrong reasons. So and I have a very free spirit, so sometimes I really have to like turn it down the notch and be very careful. And then what I learned from people too, that people could voodoo you, give you things to drink, make you marry them, make you want to be with them. I don't know how true it is, but I keep hearing this everywhere I go. Even from the lady, she's from Kumasi that I met on a plane. Even the MP from Kumasi, like they talk about people could give you things to drink. Even the landlord here, you see what she was telling Naya to be careful. People give you things to drink. People will fool you. People could get you to get married them, blah, 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 for all the wrong reason things. So I'm very free spirit, so I got to be very careful.
Personally, I don't think it's true, and I don't believe in those things. I don't believe in people doing things against your free will.
So you don't think voodoo and those stuff are real?
I think whatever you believe in works, and since I don't believe in them, it won't work for me.
That's true. I'm very spiritual, so I believe in every people religion. So as like they respect my religion, I respect their religion. I believe in everybody's religion. So I won't sit here and say I don't believe in them. I do believe in it, but God is the higher power of everything. So if God have this line for you and you living right by him somehow, not like the straight guidelines of being, if you live right by him somehow and you do good, I feel like if you put that good energy out, you do good by people, good will follow you. So nothing cannot, God have the highest say. I do believe in karma though, so I don't know.
All right. So thank you so much, Stacy.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me on your channel.
For the time you had with me today.
You're welcome.
And for the wonderful discussion we
You're welcome. You're welcome.
And for your sweet voice.
Oh, I'm blushing. Oh, you're so sweet.
You mentioned that you are single.
Yes, I am.
I'm surprised that you said you are single.
Why are you surprised I'm single?
Because why are you saying you are single? Because I would have to edit that part out of the video. Why did you say you are single?
Because I am.
Are you looking for a boyfriend?
I'm looking for a husband, not a boyfriend material. I'm looking for a husband, a faithful, God-fearing husband, not just a boyfriend, not just a regular thing. And in Ghana, I noticed that guys don't really know to date. Like in the Western world, you date. Doesn't mean sexually intercourse or sex with them. Dating, getting to know them to see like, okay, if this one could be my husband, if I could stand this nigga spit, if I could stand him spit all day, if I could stand him leaving his drawers all day, if I could stand him being gone for work all day. So you date to realize what people is like, to be like, okay, I could stand this, like I love this person beyond what they do. So, and then I remember telling one guy, oh, I'm dating. Then he was like, oh, you're dating and you're single. Like, no, you date to get to know other people.
But people crave for intimacy sometimes, so are you open to that as well?
Well, it all depends. So if I'm giving you intimacy, if I'm dating this one person, that means I'm going exclusively with that person if I'm giving intimacy for that person.
No longer dating?
No.
What is it?
So we're going to be in a relationship to get to know each other more and to lead to marriage if I am giving intimacy with one person. Okay. So when I'm dating, I'm just dating and talking to know somebody. But if intimacy came in, then that's a different story.
So do you think I should put you out there for people to find you and come and marry you?
Hey, you can if you want to. I'm single.
All right, so thank you so much for having time with me today on my channel.